Hey guys, just a quick shout out to Leo Nerf and More. I said that I would do this a couple of days ago, and wow, as with all of you guys, really appreciate the support. Just finished watching Raw, so I hope you enjoy the Raw review. Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days. So just finished watching Raw this week, June 13th, and obviously it's the go home show for Money in the Bank. It was a much better show than what we've had in the past couple of weeks. It was a bit more focused. There wasn't as much filler, but there was still a few dodgy moments. Really, the first was the opener. I didn't rate the opener at all. I really didn't like it. It was great that the New Day came out, and I was really looking forward to some interesting back and forth, like verbal back and forth between them and Enzo and Big Cass. They just kept focusing on these shoes, which was lost on me because I think it's a basketball thing, and basketball's not that big in the UK. It's certainly not mainstream anyway. I think there's a reference to something that I don't understand there. It was a bit of a shame that took up quite a bit of the start because, as I said, it was lost on me. But not only that, what was a shame was the fact that then Enzo started teasing Xavier about going out with Francesca too, and the fact that he was blowing her all night and all that kind of stuff. It was, it was just weird because Xavier was starting to get angry at Enzo, and it just all felt silly. I don't need that for an opener. I get a few people actually asking me on comments, what do you say to people when you tell them that you're a wrestling fan and they ridicule you? Well, I tell them to go and watch Shawn Michaels against The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25. Or I tell them to go and watch Hulk Hogan against Andre the Giant and just feel the electricity of that moment. But I can't tell them to go and watch the start of this Raw because even I was a little embarrassed by it. Vaudevillains came out, the club, Gallows and Anderson came out. There was a lot of talking. I think Vaudevillains, Aiden English was singing at one point. This thing was, it was a mess. It was a mess. It led into a match anyway. It was a decent match, but Gallows and Anderson picked up the victory, which I thought was a bit of a shame because that means surely they're not going to win at Money in the Bank. So I don't know who wins, but I don't think it's going to be Gallows and Anderson. I would love it to be the Vaudevillains. I just think that they need the titles. If they don't, they're just going to get lost. I think all the other teams have got bigger personalities and are connecting better with the crowd. I think that they could do with putting the belts on the Vaudevillains to give them something. But there's every chance in the world that the New Day just retain. So yeah, a bit of a dodgy start. Not the greatest first match, but the match was certainly a lot better. Straight after that, we had Titus O'Neil coming down to the ring. He was about to start his match, and then he got jumped by Rusev, and it was quite a brutal beatdown. I mean, obviously he slaps on the accolade and whatnot, but yeah, this was good. It was on the entrance ramp. Obviously, whatever match was meant to happen didn't happen, yeah, we go forward to Money in the Bank on that one. I liked this. I thought it was powerful, to the point. I thought it was a much stronger segment. And talking of segments, actually, the backstage segments this week were really, really strong, noticeably strong. They're starting to film a lot more backstage and do live things backstage a lot more. I remember the Shane and Steph with Kane moment, and certainly Corporate Kane felt like this week's guest. If you remember, last week it was Teddy Long. Kind of felt like this week Corporate Kane was the guest. So he was backstage, and I did enjoy it when he gave his letter of recommendation from The Undertaker. I thought that was a really funny moment. Also, you had Charlotte and Dana do quite a strong backstage segment. There was a brilliant interview between Cesaro and Sami Zayn got involved. There was a great moment between Del Rio and Kevin Owens when Kevin Owens was saying that Del Rio had turned up 20 minutes late. There was a lot of storyline to this. There was a lot of backstage action to this week's Raw, and it was noticeable for me. I really enjoyed it. Talking of things I enjoyed, the Ambrose Asylum, absolutely brilliant. We had all members of the Shield in, and there was a great moment where they were reminiscing. You know, Seth was saying that some of his best moments in the ring was with the Shield, and they was talking about, you know, landing in a helicopter in London and then going out to face Undertaker and Team Hell No. The battles, the wars they had with Evolution. It was brilliant. And then, you know, Seth says that his favourite moment in the ring was with the Shield, and that's when he turned on him with the chair, which, you know, just great moment. They're really building up that main event like a WrestleMania main event, and in truth it is. You know, it's got that vibe. So I think Reigns comes out with that. I don't see Seth winning back his title, but I don't know how they're going to do it, because I don't want to see Seth lose clean, but I fear that's what we're going to see. Interesting though that Ambrose said if he won Money in the Bank, there's every chance that he would cash in. Who knows, maybe Ambrose wins Money in the Bank, comes out, threatens to cash in, distracts Seth, and that's how Seth loses. I will do a separate Money in the Bank video, but for me the favourite has to be Bray Wyatt. There's rumours that there might be a 7th person added, and if that is true, surely it's got to be Bray, who is ready to come back and could really do with that briefcase. Next we had the women's segment. This was Paige against Charlotte. It was announced that it'll be Charlotte and Dana against Becky and Natalya at Money in the Bank. It's a pretty flat feud, that one, for me. I think there was a bit of intrigue added to this because Dana throws Charlotte back into the ring. She goes right into a rampage, loses the match to Paige. Good victory for Paige. You know, any victory on Raw is a good victory. But in truth, it's not going to do anything for her. She's not going to get a title shot or anything. And I think it's a bit disappointing that Raw only had this one segment. There was the backstage segment where Charlotte was, you know, kind of reprimanding Dana, saying that if she wants to be her protege, then she needs to learn quick, because she cost her that match. Not excited for this women's match at Money in the Bank. I'd much rather see a title defence. But look, it is what it is. Hopefully after Money in the Bank, and certainly with the brand split, we get some more women's wrestling and some more storylines in that division. Next we had Sheamus against Zack Ryder. This was built off the back of another strong backstage segment where Zack Ryder was saying that he was telling a story about how scared Sheamus was and got beaten up by Apollo. Sheamus obviously took offence to that, and you know, the match was made, and so they have a match. Sheamus picks up the victory, continues to beat down on Zack Ryder, and out comes Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews, I thought, looked like a beast in this. I thought it was fantastic. I don't like the happy, smiley Apollo Crews because it's too happy and smiley. You need to have that focus, that, you know, that mean streak, and he came out like, you know, exploded out, chased Sheamus into the crowd. Absolutely brilliant moment. Next we had the best match of the night, which was Cesaro against Sami Zayn. I really enjoyed this. I was watching it, and it had a fairly slow start, few little spots here and there. The pacing was quite nice, but it was the Sunset Powerbomb that Sami Zayn used to pick up the victory. You've got to see it to believe it. It's stunning. It is stunning. It's poetry in motion. It was a fantastic end to a really competitive match, and Sami Zayn picks up, dare I say, the surprise victory. And then after that we had Cena against AJ Styles. It wasn't against AJ Styles, it was a contract signing. Cena came out, really bigged up AJ Styles, said that Cena had won within his time 15 world championships, and said that AJ Styles within that time had actually won more around the world. I thought that was a great service that Cena did to AJ. And, you know, said that the powers that be wouldn't bring AJ in. I thought this was a fantastic promo from Cena. I thought Cena did a great job of really trying to, you know, build the fight up. Not that it needs it. You know, it is, I agree, a WrestleMania match. 2 contracts. One for a one-on-one match. One where it was going to be Cena and the club could be at ringside and interfere, basically. And so he was then goading AJ, saying, look, if you want to find out who's the best, I don't want the club around, you sign that one. If you want to mess around and never find out, then let's go with this one. And so AJ obviously signed the one-on-one contract. It was done really well. AJ, I thought, was cutting really good promo as well. For me, Cena was better, but AJ, you know, was very focused, didn't lose his way. He is a veteran, but we know that his mic skills aren't his strongest skills. The match is made next for Del Rio and Kevin Owens to take on the Lucha Dragons, and whoever wins goes into Money in the Bank. So if Lucha Dragons won, it would be Kalisto and Sin Cara instead of Kevin Owens and Del Rio. The only downside with that as a stipulation is that was never going to happen. They would never not put Kevin Owens in there because he is so over with the crowd, shifting so much merchandise. I think as well, Del Rio is actually probably doing some of his best work since he's returned. You know, he's quite passionate and he's quite confrontational, and he can be a little funny as well. You know, he's just talking in Spanish. He's a good person for Kevin Owens to kind of bounce off, and so I've kind of enjoyed watching those two. But yeah, you know, this was a pretty standard affair. Kevin Owens, you know, getting frustrated, threatening to walk away, remembering he'd be removed from the Money in the Bank match if he did, so then he was going back. Owens and Del Rio pick up the victory in you know, the least surprising result for quite a while. And then that brought us to the end, you know, Ambrose against Jericho for the main event. We had Kevin Owens on commentary, Sami Zayn on commentary, Cesaro with guest ring announcer, Del Rio was the timekeeper, and yeah, you know, what you would expect. Ambrose picks up the victory with Dirty Deeds, and then there's this massive melee afterwards. It is worth noting that Kevin Owens' commentary was superb. He always got the last word. He was telling Michael Cole that he was doing his job when he was calling out the moves. He was putting down Sami Zayn every chance he could. He was putting down Byron Saxton every chance he could. He was commenting on the match and on how great Jericho was and how rubbish Ambrose was. And the final shot of Raw is Jericho at the top of a ladder with the Money in the Bank briefcase, whilst everyone else is kind of, you know, out having fought amongst themselves. Suppose in a way that means Jericho won't win the briefcase, which is the right call. He doesn't need it, shouldn't win it. As I said earlier, I think Wyatt could make a surprise appearance, get added to it at the event. Maybe Wyatt goes on to win it. If not, it's got to be Kevin Owens. Well, I say that, it could even be Ambrose. I'm really excited, really excited. I think the undercard is okay in the sense of Titus against Rusev, Sheamus against Apollo Crews. Really not feeling the women's match, but Cena Styles, that is something to savour. Seth against Roman, fantastic. And they've done a great job of building this Money in the Bank, these 6 competitors. So yeah, on to Money in the Bank we go. It's this Sunday. Really looking forward to it. This was a very good go home Raw. Nothing spectacular, nothing really that I'll be going back and watching again, but it was good. It was a good watch. Cool, thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter at Wrestling Days UK. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, it'd be brilliant if you did, because we've got loads of videos coming up, including a trip to NXT in a couple of days' time. Going to go and see him in Bournemouth, so I should hopefully have some good footage for you then. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you again next time. Bye for now.